waiting on an entire group, a large group of people who aren't here in order to decide things is going to hinder our progress. Like he said, if they're not here, then they just have to show up on whatever we decide. It's very important that we get this done now. Like she said before, people need time to prepare. Like he said before, we need to choose a time so that people know ahead. Okay, I know it's Saturday. I know it's going to be randomly 11 o'clock. Okay, so they will announce when we decided in our General Assembly, hopefully there'll be another one on Wednesday, that this is where we're going to meet and it's going to start, this is the route we're going to take, and then this is where we're going to end. If they want to be part of that decision process, they need to be here. Online tools are very great, like you said, to discuss things, but having the voting and stuff done online, if people aren't paying attention to what's going on online, then it doesn't work. The most they will probably do is they'll check in to see if there's going to be another meeting soon. So we need to get people to show up to the meetings. Because if they're not showing up to the meetings, then they're not going to show up to the protest. They're not going to show up to the occupation. So I would like to move right now that, okay, we know it's Saturday. Let's just pick a time right now that is good for the majority of people to kind of show up so that we can get started on that day. And then have the place decided by Wednesday and have it announced online so people have at least a few days to know exactly what they're doing on Saturday.
I think the three of you have made some very valid points about the dangers of doing internet voting, but I would like to remind every one of us that the movement is not just limited to those of us who show up here. It is far beyond us. For every one of us that's here, there's 1,000 or 10,000 people out there who feel the same way they do. And they need to have a way to contribute. And we need to keep that in mind. We need to figure out a way to facilitate that. This is all of us together who have to change this world. And it's not necessarily fair for one group of people who are geographically privileged, so to speak, just to take upon themselves a decision for the entire movement. Yes, please.
Good evening.
Mic check. Good evening.
Good evening.
My intention,
and I hope all of our intentions, is that thousands
and thousands
of people
show up
on Saturday. So I will ask all of you, including myself, to ask as many people as possible that you know, to show up on Saturday. Thank you.
Sister?
Hi everybody, I'm Nicole.
Hi everybody, I'm Nicole.
I think if we have 100 people, we're going to have 100 great ideas of where to go.
I think if we have 100 people, we'll have 100 great ideas of where to go.
So just because somewhere wouldn't be where you picked, that doesn't mean that isn't a great place for us to go.
So just because somewhere that you pick
doesn't mean it's not a great place to go.
So we have some ideas of places to go or to march from.
We have some places to go or march from.
So why don't we try and pick or narrow down places?
So why don't we try and pick or narrow down places
the best we can?
And remember, this is all live streaming too. Yeah. So there are people online watching.
Oh, go ahead. I'm checking the phone.
Mike check.
I have a suggestion. Why don't we use the forums to narrow down some of those locations? But then we make a final decision. In an assembly forum. On Wednesday. based on what was discussed on the forums.
Based on what was discussed on the forums.
And that is all we will do on Wednesday.
That is all we will do on Wednesday.
We will meet up and pick a location.
We will meet up and pick a location.
Do you like that suggestion?
You like that suggestion?
What time?
Does anybody not like the suggestion?
Can I make a comment on it?
Sure.
I'm afraid though that with that you might run into the same problem that we're having today, where we're saying, okay, if you're not here, you don't vote. But that's kind of like, okay, we're going to narrow it down online and say, well, we're going to decide in person on Wednesday. But what we're saying right now is that yes, this group is much smaller, especially than we had yesterday, so I can see that now. But if you're not here, your vote doesn't count. But if we say, okay, we're deciding in person on Wednesday, and you can't make it to the General Assembly on Wednesday, then you don't really get a say in what's being decided there. And I think that might kind of hinder it a little bit.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. The vote will still count online, so there's going to be like stuff like we're going to vote online for like I guess whatever it is, the top three.
Top three choices.
So it's like how many, there's 100 different locations that we can go to. We'll vote on the top three online, and then on Wednesday we'll all meet up and we'll just decide between those three. And we'll hear everybody will speak their piece.
How does everybody feel about that proposal?
Top three online?
Now you were blocking.
Yeah, well, I was just saying, I don't really see the point of meeting up just to do what you could do online.
Yeah.
Well,
Because the online is insecure. People could vote
Well, reality is insecure.
If you have people showing up here, the people that can make the commitment to do it, I understand there are going to be some people that can't come because of work or whatever. But we don't have months to plan for this. This is a matter of days.
Exactly.
And if it's not known by midweek is late. I've organized events before, and if you wait till the last few days, it kills you. Okay, but we don't have a choice. It's where we're at. So.
Just quick point. Please try and, I know it's really frustrating. This is a slow process, but please try and wait until someone, a facilitator, points at you to speak, so everyone can have a fair chance to.
Staff is the woman in the blue shirt, this gentleman here, you, and then Sylvia.
I think it's a lot of work for you to get somewhere just to we're going to have a meeting or whatever, and I'll get traveled there and I'll get them to do it here. I don't want to come and vote, I want something else going on.
Have a GA meeting.
Yeah.
General Assembly.
Right. I understand where you're coming from with that kind of statement, but online there's a lot of collusion and there's a lot of people that can go in and hack as well.
I just want a General Assembly.
Can I reflect on our process? I'd just like to say that this is beautiful. What we're doing right here, I think, is what we're asking for. We're putting in motion what we're asking for elsewhere. And it's frustrating as hell at the same time. We don't know how to do what we're learning. And I just want to say that we could have, when we had 150 people here, we could have all voted and gone, okay, we're going to try that and run out, and we could have taken that entity out there. There would have been something really good about that, and it would have been a good mark. We're doing it differently. There were really great things about this, and I just wanted to put that this process is actually what we're doing.
So,
I just wanted to have a compromise. I think everything we said is valid. I think in terms of even from the beginning, this is just the first time. I think we'll have a bit of something more. So I think maybe merge the two ideas. Despite, I agree with you that it's late for midweek, but I also agree that it's the best we can do right now. So I think maybe move that polling idea deadline to Tuesday and have it on Wednesday, and then just ask the rest of everyone involved to, have a faith in us. And in the end, you have that faith that the movement is going to work. You have that faith that the people involved have the same good intentions as you. So I think we're at go maybe. So I'd like to put that out there, that maybe move up the polling deadline to Tuesday, and then get the top 2 or 3, probably 2 is better, in my opinion, and then meet on Wednesday, and then vote on it there. Whoever can come, and then for those who disagree with cancer, they can help organize the next one.
You have
But I just wanted to say that as much as I understand and become part of this movement about democracy, we all have to understand that unfortunately in those situations we're never going to find a place, location, time, and day that works for everybody. I agree that we should vote online. I agree that we should have a General Assembly sometime midweek to discuss the whole issue. But we also have to understand that it's never going to work for everybody. And if you are part of this movement and you can't get it on a computer and you can't come to the General Assembly meeting, and we're trying to work, around everybody's needs, but we can't tailor this movement to fit every specific circumstance. That's all.
Okay. How does everybody feel right now about moving to a vote on Sully's compromise or one of the other suggestions?
Tuesday online?
Wednesday here. Yes. What time do we want to meet here Wednesday? Do we want to meet here? Do we want to meet at the other location on Wednesday?
we meet here.
Can I make a point? When it was posted online, it said that today was going to be at Media Park, which is actually not this park. This is not the same park. It is a different park. This is Media Park. According to the map, it's a different name. It's a different park, and I think that I know that I was very confused, and I know that there were two people over there when I walked up and said, no, we're not here, we're over there. So I didn't know where we were going, and I think that if we are going to meet either wherever we're going to be, if it's going to be here, or wherever it's going to be back in Strand, we have to be clear about which one we're going to be at so that the application doesn't happen for us.
I would like to add that if when we pick a place, we stay there, because last night when I showed up, I didn't know where anybody was. And I wandered all around Stranahan, listening to the fights. And finally, I asked somebody, he's like, oh, just follow the voices. I'm like, real voices or voices? But at that moment, a great cheer went up, so I figured it out.
I think the sad part over there is, because I know Stranahan felt a little bit small for the people we had last night. This park over here is much bigger. It was the one that was actually named today, but it seemed like it would work better. It was bigger, there was more space, and we'd actually be able to fit a lot more people. So I'm just going to put that out there as a suggestion for where we meet on Wednesday.
It's right across the street from the college too.
Yeah.
Two colleges,
There's parking within.
So if you're serious about
Yes.
serious about reaching out to the students, then that's the place to be.
And the name is Zenga Plaza.
It's supported by Zenga. How's Zenga?
Park. Zenga Park is the place.
Oh yeah,
Zenga Plaza.
Against Zenga Park.
What?
Against Zenga Park. Against Zenga.
What time?
Morning, noon, or night?
5,
6.
7:30 works better for me. No, I'm lying. But 6. Okay.
Concerns with 7 against 7?
Bear in mind that this park here closes at 9, so it's very much time.
Many parks close at 9.
This is like a third of the actual entire group. And then we make a vote on like a place and a time without the entire group. What I understand yesterday, we were like 3 times the size as we are today. I thought everybody agrees that choosing a time and a place without the entirety.
Like I said before, waiting on a group that large to make a decision like this, we're running out of time. It needs to be done.
This is separate.
And I think that
yesterday, right?
I think that if we make the announcement, when people see that, they'll show up if they can. Just like with the thing on Saturday, if we can announce that, they'll show up if they can.
Yeah, the quick point that I was going to make was that I don't know that there was any voting that went involved with our meeting yesterday and what time it was going to be, or the meeting today and what time it was going to be. So yes, the Democrats democratic process is very important, but we also have to consider that not everyone's going to be there every time that we vote. And so if we're saying, okay, we're going to meet on Wednesday at that park at 7 o'clock, and we put that online, how many people showed up last night when nobody voted? They just said, we're going to be here at this time, and 200 people showed up. I think that people will show up if you tell them when and where.
Do we want to continue, or do we want to make some announcements, and then...
Can I quickly, did we vote before we were going to agree on the time for Saturday?
Yeah.
No, that's for Wednesday.
11 a.m.
11 a.m. Saturday? 11 a.m. Saturday. Okay, so you can tell everyone 11 a.m. Saturday.
11 a.m.
And the location will be posted on.
Hold on. Not everyone talking at once. Okay, I'll kind of do a recap.
Yeah. Okay. So, for our General Assembly meeting on Wednesday, it will be at Zinga Plaza at Bouvier Park at 7 p.m. Yes? Let me get consensus. Let me hear everybody. You know? Okay, so tell everyone. And then on Saturday, when we do our, what are we going to call it? The protest march? Demonstration. Okay. Saturday's demonstration for solidarity with the rest of the occupation movement going across the nation is going to be Saturday at 11 a.m. Location to be decided. It will be suggested online. Polling will be closed on Tuesday at midnight. Yeah, can we do that?
Yeah.
Tuesday midnight, and then we will vote on the actual location and have it posted on Wednesday when we meet at Bouvier Park in Zinga Plaza at 7 o'clock.
Where are we going to vote?
We are going to be doing our voting on
Occupy
Fort Lauderdale. He's going to post an actual poll. Because I mean, on Facebook, you can have some polls. Okay, so we're going to post an actual poll for the potential locations on the OccupyFortLauderdale.org website, and the poll will close at midnight on Tuesday.
Will that be on the homepage or will it be in the forum?
It should be on the homepage.
If it's not on the homepage, I'll put it on the homepage where it is. But it'll probably be on its own page.
Okay. So, any further business?
You had...
Okay, my name's Scott. I'd like to make
Hi, Scott.
a statement of principle. We are on the cusp of an enlightened movement. If we focus on what our desired outcome is, we can achieve that. If we turn it into a protest or become against something, we will lose. If we fight, we lose. The only way to create the future we desire is to stay focused on what we desire, and then move toward that. If we protest, we lose. If we fight, we lose. We can demonstrate. We need to support each other and demonstrate. But if we fight and protest and become against something, we lose.
You haven't spoken.
I had a question about that. Movement.
Mike check.
Mike check.
I had a question about the national movement.
Question about the national movement.
For next week's demonstration across the country.
For next week's demonstration across the country.
Do we know what time they are? What the entire country at once?
Do we know what time they are before they across the entire country at once?
Do we want to know LA, New York, or arbitrary times? I think that's what we're trying to decide right now.
I don't think that there's a set national time. It's just a day.
This time, so 11 a.m. Saturday.
Go ahead, brother.
In response to that, I'll probably be down here all day. So, I mean, I think we do it as long as possible. We make up time snow as long as possible, and then we don't even have to worry about a specific set time.
Congratulations, guys!
Yeah, I want to see the number 99.
calling myself.
Question.
You have a question?
Yes, sir. Question for the group. Mic check.
Mic check.
Question for the group.
Question for the group.
Do any of you know about flash meditation mobs? Or do you want to organize a flash meditation mob?
Or do you want to organize a flash meditation mob?
To raise the vibrations.
To raise the vibrations.
And keep this movement positive.
Keep this movement positive.
Thank you.
I think we'll post that online.
I'll call myself, and use my privilege to call myself. And then you've had your hand if you haven't spoken yet, so then there's a question. I would just like to remind everyone of how we got here today. Some of this stuff is kind of frustrating because we're engaging in something that we've never seen in our lives before. It's called democracy. We've seen a scam of democracy. We've been told that democracy is voting for somebody and then shutting the hell up and letting them take care of all our business. So, our whole lives, we've been told to sit down and shut up. And right now, we're discovering our own voices for the first time. And we have to figure out how to be a chorus so that our voices, our music, shakes this society to its foundations and we can create something new. And I'm not making this up myself. I'm learning from my Estonian brother over here. They did that. They brought down the Soviet Union by singing. And I mean that literally. But I want to bring it back. A lot of people have given their lives for us to get here today. A lot of people, thousands of people. And I want to bring up the name of somebody that we need to keep in our minds at all times. And that man was a young Arab man in Tunisia, who was just trying to sell some vegetables. He was very educated, couldn't find a job, was just trying to make a little bit of money to help out, and the police beat him up one too many times, threw his shit to the ground so he couldn't sell it anymore. And he went to the city hall, and he doused himself with gasoline, and he set himself on fire. And he set the world on fire. And unfortunately, what breaks my heart is he did not live to see the regime that made him take that response fall. He lived that long, but he never regained consciousness. And the fire spread from Tunisia to Egypt, to Libya, to Yemen, to Bahrain, to Syria. It's already burning in Greece, and now it's in Spain, and Iceland, and Italy, and Chile, and across the world. And so here's his name. Mohammed Bouazizi. We are here today because of Mohammed Bouazizi's selfless act. And we're going to have to give a lot of ourselves in this time. Because the people who live in those high towers, who rule us from those high towers, they don't want to see democracy. They are afraid. They have been sending out. They tried to kill us with silence. First, they wouldn't let their media talk about us. And then when they finally did, they were degrading us and making fun of us and saying, oh, well, they don't know what they're doing. And now they're trying to tell us how to be taken seriously. As if they ever took us seriously before. We have to take each other seriously. And we have to remember those who have fought for our rights, for us to be here today.
Question as concerned with picket signs. Is it just going to be a free-for-all? Is there going to be approval? Or is there some kind of etiquette that we should have when we're making these signs? That's my question. I mean,
Be for something.
Bring your own voice.
Yeah, I think that's a really good message. Be for something, but I think that's something we can probably discuss further in the next GA on Sunday.
I got a great slogan. We're the 99% and we're too big to fail.
I like that.
Again, there's one important safety issue on the sign. I don't know Florida specific laws, but I know that some of the ridiculous New York laws are that you can't have actually picketed signs. The idea is that they can be used as weapons. So we want to keep it on cardboard or cloth. Recycle some of those t-shirts, cut them up, and put your message on the back. Break down boxes, but just be careful. We don't want to look aggressive or give anyone the excuse to construe us as aggressive. So just don't bring the picketed signs. Would be my suggestion.
We're okay with that. No, we're okay. We can use the sign. We do it all the time.
You can?
Yeah, we do it all the time.
If we are thinking about making up the signs, I have to say straight because I'm different of opinion. I'm going to say it loud and clear that if we are trying to fight, we have already lost. And if we are afraid to say what we are against, nobody's going to care what they are for.
Could we possibly then, since we are having this General Assembly meeting on Wednesday, possibly if anyone has the things already, could we possibly make signs then? Because we're going to be doing other things, but that's something that we could possibly get done there too, so that everyone can be involved with it and everyone can get their ideas out there onto the board.
I was actually thinking that we could probably have a document made or something made on the website with slogans and different things. If you look at the Occupy Miami forum, they have a lot of different. They have a document in their group that has different slogans and things that you can use for signs. I would say. I'd also like to offer this, that if anybody wants to contact me, that I'm going to be going to Michael's to get materials and things like that. So if anybody wants to put their 2 cents in and let me know if they want anything specific, then I can get it for you there. Or if you want to come with, and we could go. What's your name? Samantha.
Hi, Samantha.
Sam. And also we can do the sign behind this too. I've got a floor.
Mic check.
Mic check.
In order to win,
I believe we must criticize by creating. We must win by creating our new world. We have the power to co-create a new world. Criticize by creating. We will create a new world. This is an evolution. This is a revolution. To raise consciousness. On this planet. Amen.
Okay, so I'm noticing our numbers have significantly dwindled. I think, we've made some huge progress in process and understanding, and I think it's probably time to wrap this up. So, all your working groups, whoever's left over from working groups, please. What's that? Facilitators. Okay, facilitators. We will have a brief discussion after this, but keep your eye on the website.